Hey there, welcome to the latest episode of Hiker Homily. You're going to have to excuse some construction noises, apparently. Somebody's tearing up cement somewhere else in the neighborhood, and not a lot I can do about that, but I got to shoot the episode. So here we go. We're going to talk about a little controversy that apparently, as usual for me, it's like this shouldn't be controversial, but some of our friends in the hiking community tend to just turn things that are normal into controversy. So we're going to talk about search and rescue, being lost, and your voicemail. Now, I'm sure if you're following any of the online hiking groups, you know where this is going. There has been a viral announcement that's just taken off. It's being passed on because apparently when we get on social media, we humans become dull in the brain and we don't check things before we pass them on. We just click share and away it goes without checking if what we're sharing is actually full of crap or not. So this is one of those situations. A post got out there, and this is kind of like the one that I kind of ranted on before about a person, hey, all these places that are damaged, we should just buy seeds from the local hardware store and just scatter them around nature, and that will help nature and things like that. It's a stupid idea, but it's well-meaning. So that's the whole good intentions, the road to a certain place is paved with good intentions. And I think that's how this started, with this whole thing where, hey, you guys, if you get lost and things like that, then get on your voicemail and change it that instead of saying, hello, you've reached so-and-so's phone, say, hey, this is me and this is where I'm at, and they give that kind of information. And that's kind of swell. What a great idea at first glance. But then when you start thinking logically, first of all, your voicemail system isn't in your phone, it's connected to your provider. So in order to change it, you would have to have a signal to get out. And if you have a signal to get out, don't waste your time changing your voicemail. Call 911 and search and rescue will begin their job. So there's that kind of basic issue with it. The other problem is if time is of the essence and like nobody else really knows you're missing yet and stuff, but you're lost and you're trying to get help, search and rescue doesn't have your number. They're not going to be calling you to listen to your voicemail message. And if they could call you, answer the phone. So, like I say, it was probably well-meaning, but it's ridiculous. It's a waste of time. You can't change your voicemail message unless you have a cell signal. And if you have a cell signal, don't waste your battery and your time changing your voicemail message. Just call 911. Tell them you're lost and about where you are, and search and rescue will start. So, yeah, again, well-meaning. But let's talk a little bit. Let's make this a teaching moment if we can, and talk a little bit about things you can do when you're lost to actually help search and rescue, besides change your voicemail greeting and things like that. Number one, if you're having trouble with signal, get as high as you can elevation wise, if you're able to. If you're injured or something like that, or it's going to be risky to do that kind of thing, then don't put yourself at more risk than just being lost. And if you're injured, obviously you can't do it. But if you're able to safely and it's not that far of a trek, see if you can get as high in elevation as you can, because that will help sometimes get a signal out so you can contact someone for help. And of course, the first person you should be contacting is 911. Dial 911, because calling a friend, hey, I think I'm lost here, blah, 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 that's just extra time that shouldn't be in between your rescue and when you realize you're lost, okay? The first ones you should call are the emergency services. For those of you who don't know, you can also text 911. Now, the only caveat to that I will give for safety is not every single 911 call center has the ability to receive texts. In this day and age, a large number of them, possibly most of them do, but some of the smaller 911 call centers who haven't quite modernized fully may not, but quite a few of them will. And texting uses a little bit less energy than actually trying to call out. And if you text something and try and send it out, if it doesn't go through the first time, it'll try again a little while and try again a little while. Now, that can be a drain on your battery, so you have to pay attention to that. But at the same time, it's just one of those things where if it doesn't get through the first time, you can try and go about your business of trying to get higher or helping yourself or something like that, doing your survival stuff, and then it will be still trying to get through to get help for you and things like that. So keep your texts as short as you can, just basic information. Here's who I am, here's where I'm at, as best as you can guess. I need help, because shorter texts use less data, which is easier to get through the system. All right. But other than some of those things, again, like I said, it's kind of contradictory. I know I said, if you can get higher, but I also put the caveat in there, as long as it's not too far of a trek to do it. Because really, if you're lost somewhere, the best thing you're going to do is stay put where you are. Try and figure out approximately where you're at. Try and stay put. Excuse me. And then try and get a signal out from there. If you start wandering around, number one, you're risking hurting yourself. If you get injured just wandering through, bushwhacking because you don't know where you're at, it's a lot easier for you to fall, get worse lost. There's all kinds of things like that. So it's best to just stay put if you're lost in the woods. Search and rescue will come to you, and then they'll be able to guide you out. Try and conserve your battery on the device that you have for communication. If you can't get signal out right away, sometimes that can change with atmospheric conditions and things, but don't just sit there scanning the whole time, getting nothing and eating that battery up, because you may need that at some point later. Okay? So do conserve that. And if search and rescue needs to get a hold of you, they'll probably set up a schedule. Hey, we're going to come get you, blah, 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 but we're going to check in 30 minutes, turn your phone back on, and we will and try and call us, or we'll try and get a hold of you to blah, blah, that kind of thing. They'll give you a schedule. They're not just going to do that. So conserve your battery. And the last thing, for some reason, for some people, I've already done a whole hiker homily on it. For some people, this is a controversy, but the last thing, one of the best things to do is invest in a GPS satellite emergency beacon. There are all kinds of different ones out there, and they are getting more and more affordable, especially if you're on the lower end of them. There are some there that's all they do. They do nothing but they're just an emergency beacon. If you get in trouble, you get injured, or you get lost, and you just absolutely have to have help, you hit the button, it sends out a signal to whatever the closest 911 search and rescue department is. And that it basically is a signal that gives them the information that, hey, there's an emergency signal, hiker in trouble, here's the GPS location. And then they'll come out to you. And then you can all get all the way up to ones similar to the one that I have. And I'm going to do a gear review on the one that I carry. But the one that I carry is not just an emergency locator. It's a tracker. I can turn it on, and then if I give, like, for example, I give my wife the specific web page that it's on, and anyone who doesn't have that web page can't see it, but the people I give the web page to, they can see and watch my progress. Oh, here he is. He's gone this far today. He's gone this far. Okay? And there's various reasons for that. Peace of mind for your loved ones when you're out in the backcountry by yourself and things like that. But, there's a few other reasons and things. But, so it can work as that. And also I can send text messages with it. I can tell my wife, hey, it's been a great day. They can even pre-program these. Great day, setting camp here. That way she knows my little blip isn't moving anymore. Well, it's about 5 o'clock. She doesn't have to guess. Is he camping for the night, or is there something wrong? Oh, I just got a text from him. There we go. He's camping for the day. He's had a good day. Okay? So you can do things like that with some of these. Now, of course, the more features they have on them, the more expensive they're going to get. But some of the ones with just the bare bones, bare knuckle features, even the one I have several choices. of what I want it to do and how much. Like you can limit the number of texts. If you just want unlimited text, it's this much a month. If you only want to be able to send 5 out, which works, for such and such that I'm going to backpack, it's going to be a shorter trip, then you can have this much a month. So you have some choices there in the program. And so some of them are affordable. They really are. And I highly suggest them nowadays. You're always going to get these people out there, hey, back in the pioneer days, they didn't have that stuff and they were out there. Yeah, okay. Number one, this isn't the pioneer days anymore. Newsflash. Maybe you look around and figure out that the calendar has moved forward. Number two, lots of pioneers died because they were out in the middle of nowhere and didn't have anyone that could help them and no way to contact anyone to help them. So there's that too. Thanks for your advice, though, mister. It was okay in the pioneer days not to have them. So anyway, there we go. The big thing is, the thing on Facebook was shared so many times. That's why it went quote unquote viral. And there were several other social media outlets that it was shared on. Please don't waste time and battery power changing your voicemail message. If you are legitimately in trouble and lost in the woods, that's a complete waste of time. If you have signal to change your voicemail message, then call 911. If you don't have signal, changing your voicemail message isn't going to do any damn good. And especially if search and rescue has no idea who you are, what your number is, none of that's going to work. So do the smart things that I've lined out there and things like that. Contact search and rescue when you can, if you can. Other than that, try and stay put so search and rescue can actually find you. Because if they're looking for you and they knew you were going to be on such and such trail area, maybe you got off the trail, that's where they're going to start. They're going to have a corridor along that trail that they're going to try and figure out how far you got off of it one way or another and stuff. And if you're busy wandering around going in the wrong direction, they're never going to find you. So stay put. Once you've figured out, boy, I'm totally lost, I don't know what to do. Okay? Unless there's some kind of danger to you or something like that. And I honestly, I don't know. Like I say, I know a lot of people pass this kind of stuff around. It's good intentions. Just like the one person I saw, we should just buy seeds and throw them around the forest and that'll reforest these bare areas that have been damaged by fire. No. And I already did a whole episode on why that's not a good idea. Basic ecology. Same thing with this. Oh yeah, change my voicemail. Share. Not even thinking logically, does that really going to work? How does my voicemail work? Do I even know? And things like that. Or, maybe I should check on this to see how factual it is. Is that a good idea? What do the experts like the search and rescue people say? And that's the big thing that came out was as soon as this went viral and started going everywhere, several professional rescue groups were saying, please don't do this. And here's why. And it's a lot of the stuff that I outlined in this video. So I thank them for the good information. And it's just, you would think it would be logic, but a lot of people don't do the logic thing. That's just how it is. So there we are. That's what we got for this week's Hiker Homily. Agree or disagree, who knows? You have any experience being lost in the woods or dealing with that? Are you a search and rescue volunteer? Have you ever dealt with some of those kinds of things? Hey, let us know whatever you want to let us know. As usual, at hikingforhealthca@gmail.com. Or, of course, you can comment in the comments down below or in the comments on whatever social media platform this gets posted on. Other than that, I thank you so much for watching, as always. Appreciate it very much. And I'll see you next time.